Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 23 of Mistconceptions. I'm your host, David White. I hope you're all having a good week. My week has been admittedly a little rough. My grandmother passed away on Wednesday, and it's been hard. It's been really hard. But I hope that if you have people in your life, that you go let them know how much they mean to you, and not just with your words, but that you actually let them know by what you do. Because, you only have so long with the people you love, so make sure that you love them when you can. If your week has been a little rough, I hope that this episode, takes you out of it for the next hour or so. Takes you out of the bad, gives you something fun and happy to listen to. And along this same vein, I recently learned of a listener that lost her job for pretty sucky reasons. So this episode is for you. You know who you are. I hope you bounce back quickly and you get back on your feet and you keep going forward. This is the last episode of the crew being split up. Next episode 24, the crew will come back together. So if you've been missing that dialogue and that repartee between our four main characters, it's coming back next episode. But I want to say a big thank you to Christian and Bailey for helping record these episodes. And, as adults, we're busy. We sadly rarely have time to do the things that we enjoy. So I thank Christian and Bailey for taking time out of their weeks to come help record. I hope they had a fun time. I know we did. If you want to help support the show, we of course still have our Patreon. We're not quite to our first Patreon goal of $150. We're about a third of the way there. So once again, I want to ask all of our listeners, go to Patreon, pledge $1 a month. If all of our listeners do this, we will be able to hit that goal. If you want a shout out on the podcast, you can up your pledge to $2 a month. Or if you want access to this thing called Mistconceptions After Hours, which is a collection of unedited episodes or unreleased episodes or just fun audio, you can pledge $5 a month. And along that same vein, our first piece of Mistconceptions After Hours is coming out next Monday on April 2nd. And that is our Session 0, the first ever episode, first ever thing we ever did with these characters. We recorded it. Previously, it was not going to be released, but now we have a Patreon. We thought it would be cool to, give this out. And it's a fun adventure where everyone is learning their character and how they work together. So if you want to listen to our Session 0, previously unreleased, our pilot episode as it were, go ahead and go over to Patreon and pledge $5 a month. And if you want to support us in a non-monetary way, we still request that you go to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. iTunes and their podcast app, it's probably the place where people get the most podcasts and listen to the most podcasts. So that's why I always push for iTunes reviews. So if you want to help us out in a non-monetary way, leave us a rating and review on iTunes. Or we really appreciate it when we see people mentioning us on Facebook and Twitter. This week, I've seen a few people do that on both platforms, and so thank you for that. Thank you for helping us get the word out, because some people don't know that Misconceptions exists. So if you want to support us non-financially, leave us a rating review on iTunes, or go to Facebook and Twitter and just mention us, slip our name into some casual conversation, spread the perverse gospel of our podcast, things like that. And speaking of Patreon, we would like to give a shout out to our newest Patreon backer, Taylor Bush. So, thank you, Taylor. I appreciate, as does the rest of the crew, your willingness to help us make this show even better. All right, let's go ahead and get into this episode, shall we?
It's been 3 weeks since the first disappearance. Woodard and I have been racking our brains and using every resource we have. We haven't found anything. Woodard's distracted and doesn't have time for it, but I have to do right by the parents and find these kids. I won't stop until I find every last one of them.
Faye, what are you doing? The guy has led you over to the barricade where the generators are.
Did I hear, like, did Esther scream? Do I have any
She didn't
indication
scream
that...
because she tensed up, but you definitely heard the of a taser, and you turn around and you see Esther on the ground being hauled away by two security guards.
Okay, I'm just gonna, like, sprint after.
Okay, so, and he says, I mean, this is where the generators are, and then you just
Yeah, pretty much.
start sprinting toward them. Okay. What do you do?
Do I get to...
Yeah, you're just rushing towards them, so what do you do?
Wait, what's happening? What are you doing?
Who are you and what are you doing here? What the hell? Do we need better security? We're the security. Why are we asking if we need better security?
No, I was with another security guard. I was sent to check on everything. This is my friend. She was just coming to check on me. She wasn't trying to hurt anything. Look, everything's okay. Look back at the generators. They're all fine. She was just coming to find me.
Listen, I don't know what she was doing or what she was trying to do. And I don't know who you are. But I'm going to have to ask both of you to leave. And this one, he points to Esther, we're just throwing on the other side of the barricade and calling the cops.
Could you just not throw her on the other side? Could you just let me take her? I was sent to check on the generators. I checked. They're fine. You can ask that security guard back there.
No. And they take her, pick her up, put her on the other side of the barricade, and they look at you and nod with their heads. There's your friend.
There are only cuss words coming to mind. And she, like, goes over the barricade.
Okay. And then he starts calling on his phone and walks away. At this point, Mohammed kind of sees y'all and runs over to y'all.
All right, guys. They're going to shut it down at the intermission. So, mission accomplished.
Great. Well, we need to hide, and I'm not
go
sure
back to the
Esther's
forest.
awake. Are you awake?
What did you do?
You're a little disoriented, Esther, but you are awake.
Okay. The security guards are insane, is what's going on, and we need to get Esther out of here. They already called the cops.
Ah, Christ. All right. He just picks her up, like throws her over his shoulder.
Okay.
Starts walking into the forest.
Okay,
Tell
where do
until
y'all...
Esther like wakes up.
A little bit. You're still with it enough. I'll let you know when you wake up fully.
Okay.
So where do y'all go?
Into,
Run back towards
yeah,
the forest. And
the trees
I
and
guess.
such.
Okay. And as you're walking away, you hear a voice come back from the concert. Hey guys, they told us that we were gonna have to shut the concert down at intermission. But you know what I say to that? F*** the establishment! And the music gets louder, and everyone screams like, yeah! And they start dancing even more.
I'm gonna use my Ursine transformation to go full bear and run into the crowd out of the forest.
Okay. Go ahead and I'll say you can add your bulked up 1 status to this.
Alright. What is this? A change the game, I guess?
Yeah, change the game.
That is a 13.
A 13. So you get a minimum of 2 juice, and you can choose from that list.
Okay.
So you could give yourself like full bear 3 to like add to your bulked up status.
Oh, do I just add it to both?
Yeah. So then color it up to 3 and then change it to like full bear, I guess.
Okay.
Or Ursa Major.
Yes.
And then once you're done, like kind of describe what it looks like.
Is there a thing?
Yes.
Okay. So it's up to 3 now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you put Esther down before you
Oh,
turn
yeah,
bear?
I'll set her down. She just melds into me.
She just rides him out like on his back, just like limply holding on, like oh.
All right. So basically, I set her down and I just go. Guess we're doing this the hard way. That was a terrible accent. Guess we're doing this the hard way. And then I just like explode into fur and become a bear. And I'm just
a bear now.
Yeah, he's a 7-foot tall
giant
bear.
grizzly bear.
Yeah.
And I just run straight towards the crowd.
Okay, so Esther, you're not sure what you're seeing because you're like semi-awake. And Faye, you see him turn into I don't know how tall grizzly bears are, like 12 feet, 10 feet, I don't know. He turns into this huge bear. It starts thundering through the forest on all fours towards the concert.
Faye's completely distracted because she sees him throw Esther down. So she like looks up during the transformation and is like, you know, I've seen weirder things in the last few weeks, and like turns back to Esther to find out what's going on with her.
Okay. Esther, you're kind of tight and sore. You're coming to it more now, but Faye is like near your face like, Esther, are you okay?
Esther takes Faye's face in her hands and like pushes it back. I'm fine. Was that a bear?
Yeah, apparently Mohammed is a bear now too. You know, I asked him if he was more than a lawyer, but didn't seem to matter.
Mohammed, you thunder out of the trees. Roll a convince to scare these people away.
Okay, so I'm gonna add in my 3
He's
Ursa
a
Major, right?
bear.
Plus 3 to Ursa
Yeah.
Major. Do I add my Ursine transformation too? Or
No, just add that.
Okay, so add 3 to whatever I roll.
Yeah.
That would be a 13 again.
Okay. So you rumble out on all fours.
And then I just like do a bear roar.
Yeah, you get up on your 2 legs. You let out this bellowing roar. Like everybody like turns and looks at you.
It's like louder than
And
music.
yeah, and and they start panicking and running away. The guards, they like pull out their tasers, but then you like roar at them, and they drop their tasers and like run away as well. And the DJ up there is looking at everybody like, "Hey, where's everyone going?" And then everybody just flees the scene, and you immediately hear police sirens coming from somewhere outside of the park. But yeah, you have dispersed these people.
Job's done. I run back to the girls.
Okay, this bear runs back to you on all fours, and then I guess he slowly, the hair recedes and like the claws go back into his hands, and there's Mohammed standing in front of you. His clothes are all there, and
They meld into it.
yeah, and so there's Mohammed.
Faye rolls her eyes and says, I asked you if you were more than a lawyer.
Well, I didn't know you yet.
Fine, whatever. Let's go find Lisa lady.
At this point, Esther's already like gotten up and started walking like back towards the forest.
Okay.
Or what she thinks is back towards the forest. She may not be like
Yeah.
walking.
She's like
right?
walking.
She's just like,
Esther gets up and says, "All right, enough of this. Let's just go." And she starts walking back towards where the concert was. And so Faye like redirects her back into the forest.
Muhammad just like puts his arm around her and goes, "Oh yeah, this way, sweetheart."
Yeah. And so you
And
walk.
she shoots you for calling her sweetheart.
yeah.
Still out of it. So it's fine.
She like she tries to punch him. I mean, like,
Yeah.
but it's not very hard because she's still out of it.
Yeah.
But she tries to punch him.
Things seem to be going pretty well with Faye, Esther, and Mohammed. I wonder how things are going with Bill, Ren, and Linda. Let's transition, shall we? So roll a face danger.
4.
Ooh, you take a gunshot 2 status.
I want to say while this is happening, Ren sees this. Like,
Yeah.
Linda just straight up gets shot.
Yeah, get shot in the side.
And he's like, "Oh no!" And he just flings that door open and sees the guy there and just goes just to make a shot.
Okay, so you, with the delivery guy outfit, you sling the door open. The guy looks at you, doesn't even think anything about it. You're just a delivery guy. Then you pull up this huge futuristic shotgun, and you roll a hit with all you've got.
Yeah. And so with that,
This stealth mission is going completely sideways.
he still has the scanner goggles on, And so he's got the scanner vision to see whether or not the guy is going to pull his gun. And I'm going to say he does immobilizing energy, but also is doing an energy spread shot. Because he's just like going for it, and so he just accidentally clicks that button.
Okay. So it's a wider shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're gonna kill all the pizza guys.
No, 9.
9. Okay. So hit with all you've got. You get a tier 2. And what one of those do you want to choose?
I'm going to say you get them good.
Okay.
Another tier.
Step it up by 3. So this huge cone of blue energy not coalesces, but disperses out into the kitchen, hitting the guy you aim for, but also hitting some of the innocent bystanders. Their pizzas go flying. They fall to the ground. Oh, my pizza!
Can you believe this guy?
The other pizza makers see you just come out with this futuristic shotgun and shoot, and they are going to like grab some knives or sharp objects that are close to them, and they're just gonna like look at you as you're standing there with your smoking energy gun.
And I just sprint right past them and make it.
I was never given a name.
So which way are you running? To the back door or to the main dining room?
Oh, he still doesn't know where we are.
Yeah. He just knows that you were the last person to say, or you said that you are leaving.
Where is she?
And that he was supposed to get out the way that he came in.
I'm going to say.
And
go
right
for the
now-
dining room. Oh,
Right now, there are chefs in between you and the door. Not the dining room door, but the door to the outside.
yeah. No, he just makes a beeline for the dining room.
Okay?
He would know that we were in the dining room before we.
Sure, because you said you were heading that way. So you run, you kick open the dining room door, you look around. Bill and Linda are not here. Maybe they've already left.
I shoot him a text.
You know.
I was going to do that before he started talking.
You're like in the midst of a gunfight downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm standing upstairs by the door.
Yeah. But like 6-second intervals. So you rush out.
I can prove to
you
you
kick
that
it
I can send a
open,
text message in 3
and
seconds.
the bouncer turns around. He sees you with the gun, and we will transition. Bill and Linda, what are you doing downstairs?
I'm being shot.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
I'm going. Sorry. Hold this. I haven't gone yet.
Oh, you haven't?
You went and got shot.
Right.
It's okay.
You go.
No, actually, no. She can still go. Oh my gosh. But I'm gonna open the door because I'm at the door.
Uh-huh. So you didn't run back down.
Well,
Okay.
I could still run back down.
Ren could shoot down the stairs.
Okay. So you open the door, the iron door.
There's a fire. Somebody pull the alarm. Fire in the building. Fire in the building. And
Okay.
then-
So you fling it open and you scream that.
Yep.
Okay.
Like a lot. Like I just hysterically,
Uh-huh.
as much as I can. Help me, Oprah Winfrey. Help me, Tom Cruise. It's a fire.
Okay. Linda, what are you doing?
I can still move.
You can.
If
Okay.
I open and then I'm gonna run downstairs with my shield.
Okay.
Still yelling fire. Just gonna say-
Okay.
because I want to scare the people in the room to like push out past the guy who's trying to kill us. DC.
Okay, so you're trying to convince the people that are gambling in that room.
Everyone in this building needs to think there's a fire.
Okay, go ahead and roll a convince.
I am good at bluffing, and I do have kneecaps. No, just kidding. I guess really good bluff is all I can use. Okay. Hey, 7.
Okay, so you run down to the bottom of the stairs. Your voice echoes down the hallway. They don't hear you in the gambling room because it is way too loud already in there with all the people. But up
Did
in
they hear
the
that gunshot?
they've heard gunshots, and the bouncers in the room are like, "Oh, it's all right. It's okay. Just keep gambling, making you money." But one person in the upstairs dining room like looks around frantically for a bell to pull, He sees one, and he's going to try to get to it in a few seconds. Linda, what are you doing?
I think she's like she's just a really angry person, and so maybe against her better judgment, she kind of just like goes after the guy and
So you're going to run after him?
like runs after him. And am I allowed to at the same time as that like reach into the bag and like try to go for a knife or something?
Sure.
8, 9.
Pulls out a Harry Potter book.
Okay, yeah. You pull out a knife. You get, I guess, a +1 knife story tag. So you have a knife. Now go ahead and roll a hit with all you've got with that +1.
I know that it's called word on the street, as in like information, but could I use that as more of a streetwise thing? Because I have another information tag.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll use that as well, like to
Okay.
actually know what to do with the knife.
So +2.
Does she like twirl the butterfly?
Snake eyes.
Oh man. So you have this knife. You run at him, but your size seizes up from where you were shot, and you just fall back against the wall. And as he does, 2 more bouncers step into the hallway. I guess let's go to Rin. What are you doing upstairs?
I'm like full sprint, just heading to. I see that the door is like wide open, and so I'm gonna sprint, ignoring the guy in the dining room. I'm just gonna sprint down,
Okay. Go ahead and
or shoot the guy. I don't know.
No, roll a. As you're running, roll face the danger as he's going to shoot at you as you run towards.
He's gonna shoot in a dining room full of people.
Yep.
Yep.
Good
Welcome
Lord.
to the mafia.
You should read what I think about the gun.
Got a 10.
Dang. Okay. So you book it, and he shoots, and his bullets like trail right behind you, thudding into the wood, splintering it. You get to the iron door. You look downstairs. You see Bill is standing there. You hear gunshots coming from somewhere further down the hallway. What do you do as you get to the hallway?
Do I see anyone in the hallway?
No, you get to the top. Sorry, I said the hallway, but you get to the top of the stairwell. You see Bill down at the bottom of the stairwell.
Yeah, so I'm just going to sprint to the bottom with gun at the ready.
Okay. You sprint down to the bottom. You see Linda clutching her side with a knife in her hand. You see more bouncers are pouring out of the gambling room. Bill, what do you do?
I'm gonna charge the guy, whoever's closest to us,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pull out. Not pull out, but I'm going to form a cudgel in my right hand. And I'm just gonna try to whack him in the head. Just
Okay.
gonna skull crush him, if you know what
All
I'm
right.
saying.
Go ahead and roll a hit with all you've got.
All right, so basic tattoo weapons. Oh, kneecapper. It used to be skull crusher. Why did we change that? Because of the mafia thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, that's it. 8.
Okay. You get, I guess, a +1, or not +1, but a status 1, tier 1 status, and then you get to choose one of those things.
How many people are there now? 3?
Yeah.
I'm going to take cover or secure a superior position.
Okay. How do you do that?
Well, since I have my shield in my left hand, I'm gonna run up and like uppercut him with the cudgel, and then immediately like get behind my shield, preparing for whatever the other 2 or even he's gonna do.
Okay. So you swing and clock him in the head, and then as they start to shoot at you, you bring your shield around. You can feel their bullets bouncing off the exterior of your tattoo shield. At the foot of the stairs, Linda, you're not too far away from the stairs. Rin is right behind you, looking very concerned for your safety.
I guess I'll just kind of like give him the thumbs up and like a really awkward face because like why is he so concerned? Like Because I don't care much about anybody, so I don't really understand why he cares that much about me since
Okay.
we hardly know each other.
Linda, you've been shot.
I'm fine.
You've been shot.
I said I'm fine. I don't know.
You pull a Molotov cocktail out
Yeah.
of your bag.
I guess I.
Theoretically, you could. If you have like a spare bottle of scotch,
Yeah. But then it'll get you too though. But you have your shield.
if you throw it at the guys behind them, you just burst it out of the room, then there will actually be a fire.
That is true.
And the people will stampede them. together,
That is true.
In theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
we're metagaming a little.
Go ahead and roll.
Yes.
Change the
Okay,
game.
I'm gonna
If
see
you
if I
mess-
have
if you
stuff to
mess
make
up,
a Molotov.
We're dead. If you mess this up, we're
9,
dead.
10.
Jackpot.
Okay, go ahead and you have 2 juice.
Okay.
How do you want to spend it?
Molotov lighter.
You could, if you want to give yourself a even greater Molotov cocktail, you could give yourself a Molotov story tag of 1 and then scale up the effect by 1, so give it a 2.
And you throw it on the guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So you reach in with your hand, and oddly enough, you don't pull out a Molotov cocktail. You just pull your hand back, and it's like wreathed in fire. And then you sling your hand, and this fireball shoots out from your hand, screeches past Bill's head, and like strikes the opening of the gambling room, sending the 2 that had just come out, sends him flying back in, and the one that Bill had just hit sends him flying across the hallway into the wall. He strikes it with a crunch and then slumps down to the ground unconscious. But the doorway and doors are now slowly catching flame. You hear screams coming from the gambling inside. Not the gambling, but the people that are gambling inside.
Hey, you're not responsible for the death of 20 people.
Rin, what are you doing?
That's a great question. I'm really like stuck like with Ren wanting to save people and saying, you know, like yelling at everyone to get out, or just running to grab Linda and just walking her out. And I think that's what I'll do. I think Ren just like sprints towards Linda and then like picks her up, sees the fire, but doesn't even pay really any attention to it, and is trying to take her out to the...
Okay, so Linda, after you throw this fireball, Rin grabs your arm and starts pulling you towards the stairs to go up. Rin, as you start pulling her up the stairs, the mafia guy that was in the dining room now stands at the mouth of the stairwell, points his gun down, and squeezes off shots at the both of you. Roll face danger.
I throw Linda in front of me.
9.
You know, like the
9.
Ray and Finn. For like meeting for the first time. It's like, why are you grabbing my arm?
Yeah. What'd you roll?
7.
7? Okay. So you actually both just take a 1 wounded status.
Oh, that's not bad. I was really
Would
scared.
that be on the same one as?
Oh,
Yes. So
step
you
it up.
just
Okay.
bubbling. It's not 2-3 yet, but it just goes up that next
yeah.
tick.
You're
yeah.
2.5.
So you're 2.5.
Okay.
So he squeezes off a few shots. Both of you get hit. Bill, this fire is raging in front of you. You see this mass of people like rushing towards the door to escape, and you are standing in the door.
Time to
What
run.
do you do? Okay. You run for the stairwell. You see Rin and Linda in front of you. You hear the ricochet of bullets bouncing off the stairwell in the hallway. That dude that was in the main dining room is shooting down into the stairwell.
I'm going to make tattoo springs on my feet.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to Don't judge me.
I'm picturing Tigger.
That's actually a good representation.
I'm just picturing moon shoes.
It just makes me think of
Moon
Florida.
shoes. Okay, so you make these springs.
And I bounce with my. I still have my tower shield.
Okay.
I never get rid of that. And I'm trying to like shield bash him. So I bounce up the stairs. Boom.
Okay, go ahead and roll a change the game to create your moon shoes.
I don't create shoes.
Okay, so you don't create the shoes,
I just run
but
up
you
to him.
still rush up the stairs. Go ahead and roll your hit with all you've got.
I try to
your
create shoes,
tower shield.
and then it just bounces me up like one stair at a time. So I'm like,
Yeah. So you do create it, but it doesn't give you like quite
The
the
super
lift you were
momentum.
expecting. So it like bumps you up. It'll push you past them two, and then you're in the middle, and then you follow through the rest of it, and then bash him as you get to the top of the stairs. So it gave you enough to jump over them, but not quite enough to attack the guy.
all right. Ooh,
Clutch.
that is. I'm gonna use tattoo tower shield, blunt force trauma, kneecapper. That is a 12.
Okay, so we see you like bounce up the stairs and then rush, and then it just cuts to another shot of the dining room, and like there's all these people like, what's going on? And then we just did this boom, and the iron door flies open. We see the mafia guy like fly backwards and crash into one of the tables, and they all scream. And at this point, that guy that was running for the fire alarm pulls it. The sprinklers turn on, everything screaming from the main dining room, screaming from the gambling hall. You all three book it out through the dining room in this huge crowd, and the cops arrive at this point as all these people are spilling out, and now the fire department is on the way. What do you three do?
We
Get
book
in my
it for
car
Linda's
and
car.
go.
Okay, so using the cover of the panicking crowd and confusion, you make it to the car. Linda speeds away, so you leave the chaos behind you. What do the three of you do as you're speeding away?
I think I'm driving. Maybe. I think since I do so much kind of like underground CD work, and I know I have inside information on this kind of thing, maybe I know a guy that won't ask as many questions as a hospital would, since I've been shot and I believe either of them may be injured. So we drive there, and it's really a seedy looking kind of place. It's a pretty nasty motel, and he operates out of a room that he rents. And in the parking lot, we see women that are very obviously in a certain profession that is not possibly as respectable, and there's drug dealers around, and maybe they're like, oh, what is this place? Like, do we really want this guy to...
Okay.
Do we really want to trust him with our health?
Okay, and he's like this. He has like this white smock on and white hair, almost like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, missing a few teeth. Hey, Linda, she friends with you?
Yeah, you know what to do.
Oh, okay. I guess I know what to do. So he gets to work. Go ahead and step your wounded statuses that you got by one tick. And as he is working on you, does anyone have awkward conversation that you have? What did you learn? What did you gain?
I'm going to say that Ren has this awkward conversation. Bill's like going to the bathroom or something like that, and Ren's like, listen, Linda, I know that you can feel this connection. I know that you can feel the connection that we're having.
Ren, stop. No.
But please.
Ren, please.
But
No,
I've met
be
someone
quiet.
else.
Oh, what? Say,
So we just have to go our separate ways and be friends.
no, Ren, really? We have to break up?
Yes, I know. I
I'm
know
devastated.
it's really hard
you know,
for
this
you.
is going to be hard for me, but I think it's best to. Thank you.
Bill returns. So what I miss?
Oh, nothing. We were just talking about how much we miss you, Bill.
I don't even want to know.
So did you find anything down there?
Yeah, we, other than his murder den, in his bedroom, we found those drugs, and we found a flyer for the debate with "hit" written on it. So I think that he's after Pip.
Well, what are we going to do? Are you going to, like, submit, do something in the paper? Like, how are we going to protect this guy?
We can't try to stop him. We just have to somehow subvert it at the last second so we can catch him in the act. Maybe a decoy or something.
Hey, Bill's a really good decoy.
Ren looks a lot like Pip.
Yeah, we really just need to talk to the rest of our crew before we decide on anything. Since Bill's a sack of potatoes and I'm the mastermind behind the whole crew.
All right, call it Mary Poppins and Mad Max.
Yeah, sure, whatever that means.
You call them, no signal. In fact, the phone says the number you've dialed is like incomplete, or it just gives you a very weird message when you try to call them.
Guys, I'm not getting any cell service. Are you sure we should trust this doctor?
Yeah, he's fine. He does what he's told.
You have cell service. It's just when you call them, you get a strange message.
I think something's going on with Faye and Esther. Bill, we probably need to check this out. I have a funny feeling about this.
All right, well, it's been lovely, but I've got to go.
Yeah, I guess we'll see you later. Text me if you ever need me.
I won't.
And so Linda leaves, gets in her muscle car, and drives off, leaving Bill and Ren with this creepy-ass doctor in his creepy-ass operating room. And he looks
Hey, can
up
you give
and
us a
says,
ride?
"Yeah, sure." And he has a jalopy with, like, one wheel's missing, so it's like a spare wheel. And as he starts it up, there's this backfire. And you just putter down the road.
I thought he was going to have a DeLorean for a split second.
That would have been good. I'm glad we could get a pizza that action. But now let's see if Faye and Esther and Mohammed can get calzone their questions answered. God, that was awful. The trees open up, but instead of this little area that you were in before, you see there's a pool right there, a lake. Not a pool like a swimming pool, but there's a pool of water, a pond, as it were. There's some rocky outcroppings and things all around, but you see Lisa kneeling by the water, and she's just seems like she's washing something.
We did what you asked.
She looks up. Oh, thank you. Now, as per our agreement, I will reward you with the answer to your questions, one at a time, please. What questions do you have?
Anyone? I have no idea what I'm going to ask you.
I do.
Go for it.
All right, where's the kids? And don't be vague.
All the children you seek for, I do not know where they are. However, she gets up, and you see now that she's holding like a ball cap. And she walks over to the edge of the forest, and as she does, this huge banana leaf lifts up, and underneath it is this child sleeping. She wrings out the ball cap, and she very gently places it on the child's head. This one came to me not but a few nights ago. He seemed frantic, did not have many memories of what happened and where he was coming from. But he ran into my forest, and I kept him here for safekeeping until somebody came to find him. I'm sorry I cannot tell you where all the children are, but you may return this one to his family. I'm sure they are very worried about him.
Well, Thanks for lying to me in the first place.
Oh, I never lie, child.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take this kid.
Please do.
He just kind of goes over to the kid and just making sure he's okay.
Esther's a little more convinced now because he actually got an answer. And so she's gonna walk closer to Lisa, kind of lower her voice a little bit. Do you know anything about Alina in my life?
Be more specific, child. That is too vague of a question.
Esther just holds up her hand with the ring.
Ah, yes. Come with me, child. She walks a brief distance.
Okay. Esther, does put her hand on her gun when they're walking, but...
Okay. Without turning to you, she says, I admire your caution. But she walks around the corner, and you can all see it. It's not like she's taking her back behind the woodshed or something. But around this bend in the trees, there is an ancient-looking well, very much like the well that was underneath the water treatment plant. The mist is billowing out of this. It is filling this area. But she walks over to it and sits down on the edge of it, and she says, as I said before, the mist connects worlds that even I do not know about. It is a lifeblood that flows through everything. Maybe I do not know the answer to your question, but if you put your finger to the vein, you can feel the pulse. If you understand.
Esther reaches her hand out to the mist. Her hand with the ring on.
As you do so, the ring's eyes seem to glow even brighter as you get closer and closer to this well. And as you put your hand on, or not on the mist, but into the mist that is coming out of this well, there's a, I don't want to describe this, a hole opens up in the mist. Mm-hmm. It still keeps flowing, but it's almost like this portal that you can see through opens up. You look in, and you see books. You see tables, desks, chairs. You see very old computers. You see people, well, actually not even people. You see cobwebs and dust. But there is one person in this vision. You hear the of a cane, and as the camera pans over all these things and it focuses on this one lone person, she turns around and you see very dark glasses across her face. This is Lena from the picture, and she says, "Is anyone there?" And then that vision fades.
Okay.
And Lisa comes to you. Faye. She doesn't say your name. And lastly, what question do you have?
I can't decide.
You had one question that you came here to seek. Yeah, but is that the one question you want answered?
No. I don't really care anymore.
If it's safe and it's hard, it's not going to do anything.
Right. You may have been expecting this. I may be throwing you a curveball. I'm sorry if I am. How do I find the now Robin Hood?
That is not why you came to this wood.
But it's the question I'm asking. But I mean, if you also want to tell me about the monster thing, that'd be fine too.
No, no, child. I am a woman of my word. How funny. Sometimes the questions we have are not the answers we get. But however, the man you look for, you are now much closer to him than you have ever been. But remember, darling, part of the journey is finding the answers for yourself.
Well, that's why I'm in the creepy forest with the mist and the random pond.
You will find him helping people. It is what he is good at and was good at before, is what he is good at now. But I don't want to paint your picture for you.
Of course not. Can I have your word on something?
She looks a little bit surprised. Oh no, what matter?
You said the monster is safe. I want your word that for the good of the city and for the good of us who helped you today, that monster stays safe and not malicious.
You're asking me a question, darling. I only said one.
It's not a question, it's a request.
She smiles. If you ever grow tired of the machinations of men like I did, and you feel that part of you calling to you like it did to me, I think you would make a great caretaker to this place. But to fulfill your request, she motions with her hand, and you look across the lake. You see a shape, a hulking figure dipping its head into the lake. The mist parts a little bit to reveal this figure. It is the monster. It is dipping its head into the water and taking a drink. You see its overlapping scales all across its body. And as the mist parts, it looks up and you... and it turns and looks. It doesn't look at you because it doesn't have eyes, but it turns in your direction. And you feel a little bit of that connection that you felt before. But instead of rage, anger, fear, you feel peace. And then it slowly turns and you see it duck into a hole that it is burrowed in the ground and crawls into it, disappearing beneath the surface. I do not know where it came from. That is even a mystery to me. The mist conceals things from even my eyes. But like I said before, it is not about where you have been, but where you are now. He is safe here. The people that hurt him and used him to hurt others, I will make certain that they never find him again.
Faye has this realization that she was one of the people who used him to hurt others. And so she startles a bit, and there's a couple tears, and she wipes them away quickly.
And Lisa wipes away the tear from your other eye. Don't cry, child. We all make mistakes.
Thank you for your service.
She nods and slowly walks away. And this, because this is cool, she actually steps onto the lake and just starts walking across it. And the mist, seems to be holding her up as she walks across. But then she disappears into the mist.
Y'all ready to go home?
I'm ready to get this one home.
He's just carrying a kid.
Oh, that's right. I thought you were carrying Esther, and I was like, whoa, what?
No.
Esther just follows.
quietly,
Yeah.
deep in thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't take very long. You get to the edge of the forest. You don't hear the sirens, but you see the red and blue flashing lights around the bend where the concert was, but you have now exited in that same spot you first entered. You see the spot where you were reclining not but a few hours ago. Esther, you see the park bench you were sitting on. The city park is behind you. The city is in front of you. Where do you go?
Esther starts walking back to the car.
Okay.
Faye turns to Mohammed and says, "Are you going to need any help with that kid?"
I'd welcome the company.
When are you taking him home now?
Yeah, I figure the sooner the better. He needs to be with his parents.
Okay, well, I guess bring your car around and I'll see if I can convince Esther to follow you.
All right, sounds good.
So I like leave the kid with you, and
Yeah.
I go to my car and I drive it up. And it's like this old, beat up Oldsmobile. It's just like the front bumper is like half hanging off.
Actually, before you can even get into the car, you get a call.
Oh, okay.
It's from Woodard.
Woodard, what's going on, man?
John, where are you? I need you here now.
Hey, calm down, man. I found a kid.
Kid, are you still on that bloody case?
Of course I am.
Listen, I need you downtown right now. There's a robbery going on. People are going to get hurt. John, I need you here. Please.
Woodard, you're putting me in a pretty rough situation here. Fine. I'll be there in 20.
Okay. And you get into the car. You start it up a few times, but it doesn't actually start up the first time. You finally get it to start up on the third try, and you leave. And as you do, the camera pans down and looks at your license plate, and it says Liljohn. And then you drive off into the city. Esther and Faye.
We now have a child. Right.
You wait for a little while. Mohammed is not coming back.
Is the kid like awake and alert and
No, he is soundly asleep. It's almost like she put him in this magical slumber to calm him down, but he hasn't woken up yet. Nothing malicious, though.
Esther, I know you saw a lot back there. How are you feeling? Can you handle helping me take this one home?
I'm fine, but we don't know where this kid is supposed to go.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You want to call Javi?
Yeah. So I punch in the number. Hey, Javi.
Yeah. Hey, Esther, what's going on?
I need your help.
End of episode. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Mistconceptions. We will be back with our next episode on April 9th. If you are a fan of the show, let us know by leaving us a rating review on iTunes. You can also go to Facebook and Twitter, follow us there, mention us there, hang out with us there. If you are a fan of City of Mist, well, you can go to Son of Oak, because they make this great game. And you can get their starter set with free shipping right now. And if you use the discount code MistconceptionsFan, you will get $5 off a purchase of the core rulebook. And let me tell you, the core rulebook is gorgeous. It is wonderfully laid out, has a beautiful rule set. If you're listening to this podcast, you know this is a great game. You're interested in it. So take opportunity of the discount code, go over there, grab this book for yourself, and do yourself a favor, because it is a great game. The music you heard at the beginning of this episode, and we'll hear here in a little bit, was composed by Aaron Wharton. You can find more of his music at aaronwharton.net. And that is all for this episode. I hope you all had a good time listening. I hope that you have a good week next week. And we will see you next episode. Keep it nerdy, y'all.